Right, hi guys, and welcome back to the Lola Mastercard My Team career mode, or whatever you want to call it. So we've got some money in the bank, shall we say? 5 million, over 5 million in the bank in fact. So I thought let's spend it on some durability things, or whatever you call this section, basically improving the departments, each department, and getting it spent. 2 million, 3 million quid, some of them are, some are even more. So we're going to go for a purchase on the aerodynamic department there, getting it more efficient, being able to have less failures when we do R&D and things, because, as I always say, first you make a reliable car and then you make it quick. So we're having a look there to see what we can spend on the personnel. Ha! We're not improving Raghunathan. If he can't improve himself, I'm not paying for him. And then, of course, we're going to the durability section, and I'm probably going to look at the quality control here and get it spent in that department. And, yeah, worthy payments there. I think they're going to pay off in the long run. Helps with the resource points, obviously. Less failures mean we spend less of those and we can focus it in other areas. So it's worth doing. It's going to be 3 million well spent, that one. So there we go. The team is improving behind the scenes, and hopefully that will improve us on track. We've got no activities, no messages, so it's time to jump into qualifying after we replace the gearbox, because it's free to change it now after 6 rounds. So as we enter round 7, we're going to jump into qualifying now. And here we are, the last part of the lap. As you can see, we've already done one lap that's good enough for 20th. And we're going to cross the line. We're improving on this time, and it's going to be 17th place. So we shall see where that puts us for the race. And we're just clattering to the wall there for good measure. And we are having a little bit of a shenanigans there with Pierre Gasly, the winner of the Monza Grand Prix, of course, in real life. And in the end, we end up in 19th. Oh dear, oh dear. Raghunathan down in last, no surprises there. But from there, we'll see what happens. It's Monaco, not much overtaking. It's going to be an interesting one, unfortunately. But now it's time to hand you over to the incapable hands of Mr. David Croft.
Nelson Piquet once said that driving the Circuit de Monaco was like riding a bicycle around your living room. And it's not hard to see what he means by that. There's no more prestigious a Grand Prix victory than Monaco, but also none so challenging. We're on the French Riviera once more this weekend at the 2-mile-long Circuit de Monaco. The cars climb around 40 metres up through Beau Rivage, onto the casino, and then descending down towards the harbour through Sector 2. It's a very short run from pole position to the first of the 19 corners here, 7 to the left and 11 to the right. There's one single DRS zone as well, so don't expect that to make overtaking any easier today. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now, we probably ought to start by discussing Sebastian Vettel. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and Ricciardo, Albon, Ocon, Stroll, and Carlos Sainz. Norris, Gasly, Kimi Raikkonen, and Vettel, Grosjean, Magnussen, George Russell, and the scientist. Giovinazzi, Latifi, Raghunathan, and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So as you quickly saw there, Sebastian Vettel and Danny Kvyat have taken grid penalties, and we're waiting for the 5 lights to go out at Monaco, and it's away we go from 18th position. We've got George Russell ahead of us in that Williams car. We're going to try and go around the outside of him. We've got the pair of Haasers in front of us. We're going to try and sneak through the middle of them, are we? We've still got George Russell there. We're going to barge into the side pod of him. We're going to warn him for a collision with Magnussen of all things, though, despite the fact we rammed into the side pod of George. But not to worry, the Haasers are still side by side there. They're like magnets, and we're just tapping the back of Grosjean, who taps the wall again, and we tap him again, and we're through up the inside into P16. We've got Kevin Magnussen in the fellow Haas now for good measure. They finally unlatched themselves and we're in the middle of a Haas sandwich, but it's not for long because we're up the inside of absolutely everyone there. Sebastian Vettel, who had to take that grid penalty. We threw on him. We're into P13. We've got yellow flags. We've got a warning for a collision with Vettel, but all's fair in love and war on the first lap, especially through that hairpin. And we are in P13 now. We have climbed 5 places from our starting position, and the safety car is out. The safety car is being called. I'm not sure if there's been a casualty on track or maybe just some debris out there or something. But we're into lead mix. We're having a look now, and what are we going to do? Monaco is not a circuit where you can conventionally overtake and gain places, so we're going to go for a radical strategy here and pit for the hard tyres in the hopes that, you know, we're going to really gain ground and we're not going to lose them, because obviously it's difficult to overtake. And we are going to go and switch to the hard tyres, and we're confirming now that we're going to box this lap. We're going to tell Jeff, let's get in. Let's get some hard tyres on this Lola Mastercard, and let's get some points if we can. It's going to be tough. We're going to tumble down the order initially. It's just where we're going to feather his way out through the pack. Are we going to be at the back and stuck behind the slower cars? Because we've got some pace at Monaco. It seems to, you know, we seem to be matching the Williams and the Alphas, and if we get stuck behind those, it could cost us really. So it's going to be interesting to see. We're going to have a battle with Raghunathan, our teammate, who was elected not to pit, and we just sneak out ahead there, and we're going to rejoin in 20th position. So let's wait and see now. The green flags are going. We've got Nick Latifi ahead in the Williams, and it looks like it might not work out for us here because Giovinazzi is ahead of him. We've got Vettel behind us. Vettel elected to stop for some fresh tyres, so he was at the back of the grid anyway, so he had nothing to lose after his penalty. We're mounting an attack on Nicholas Latifi though, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do anything just yet as we just clipped the wall there. Thankful not to pick up any wing damage there. And nothing happening at the moment. We are putting Latifi under pressure, but look how difficult it is to overtake around this circuit. But we're going to lunge up the inside, are we? Well, we certainly close the gap there as we go through the hairpin. They're all gaggling up and bunching up together, but sadly no overtakes as yet. And we're at the end of lap 4. We've got the overtake button enabled. DRS not yet enabled, obviously, because we have the safety car, and we're going to go round the outside of Nicholas Latifi, pretty much a mirror image of what we did to Russell on the first lap. So the Williams both been taken around the outside at the first corner. No heroics into Sandy Vaught, please. Well, I've done 2 heroics and it's paid off fine. Thanks very much for asking, Jeff. So we're into P19 now, looking to close the gap to Giovinazzi if possible. He's on worn soft tyres, of course. He's got Kvyat ahead of him. It looks like we're not going to have much pressure from behind. Latifi is a little bit slower than us, already gaining over a second on him pace-wise, just after that overtake's been enabled. So we are looking now at climbing on Giovinazzi and mounting an attack as we just briefly tag the wall then and create and cause ourselves a little bit of wing damage, which is going to give us a little bit of understeer. And that's not ideal, but we're going to soldier on and march on as best we can as we go a shade. Oh, we make a bit of a mess of that, but no warnings or penalties, and that's all good to go. And as you can see now, on to lap 7, everyone has dove into the pit lane. We've gone from P19 up to P8. We've still got Giovinazzi ahead. We've not been able to make any headway on him as of yet. We've got Max Verstappen behind now for company. He's come out the pit lane and come out behind on those medium tyres. So that's going to be an interesting one as we go a little bit wide there and almost lose it there. Had a bit of a slide on the rear tyres, just kicking up and losing a bit of traction. And we've still got Giovinazzi and Kvyat ahead, so we have lost time, but doesn't matter because we are in the points and we don't need to stop again. And I still think there's cars ahead, including these 2, that do need to stop. So this is going to be interesting. So as you can see now, we are on to lap number 9 and we are up to 4th position as our teammate enters the pits now at the back anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But we are in a net 4th position. This is where we belong, guys. Leclerc, Hamilton and whoever else is ahead have pitted. We've got Max Verstappen trying to mount an attack round our outside though. We managed to fend him off. It's not worked out for the Red Bull at all, well, has it? Let's be honest, because he would have planned on getting out ahead of us and been mixing it up with the boys at the front, but sadly it's not to be for Max and he's stuck behind us. We're not going to give him any kind of leeway and we're not going to let him through if we don't have to, because we are P4 and currently on for 12 amazing points for the Lola Mastercard team. We've got that brand new fresh gearbox and we changed all the components of the engine, including the engine itself, in the last round, so we've got a fairly fresh everything in the back of this. It's going like a rocket at the moment. It's not the fastest car, but we can certainly defend around the streets of Monaco, and we are in P4 on lap 9 and looking to maintain this position. Verstappen closing in heavily though at the swimming pool, and bang, he's hit the back of us. He's hit the back of us and pushed us wide. Max, what are you doing, pal? Well, that's what he's doing. He's knocked his front wing off hitting us, and he's had to make another pit stop. That's going to be race over effectively for Max Verstappen now. What a shame. And we've got Sebastian Vettel behind us. Can you believe it? Sebastian Vettel, the guy that was racing us and that was down in P14 with his penalty, he decided to pit along with us, and he has gained positions, and he's now into the top 5 and into the top 4, is he? Yes, he tried to mount an attack on us, and bang, we've had a bit of contact. There's a yellow flag and a safety car deployed immediately. What happened there? Sebastian Vettel is out the race. I was just singing his praises, and we have had a coming together, unfortunately, with him. So we need to look and assess what happened there. Well, briefly, we've just caught the end of that, and yeah, there is Vettel, his wheels off. I think there was just not enough room there, and unfortunately come to blows with us, and we are in P4 still. Thankfully no damage, and we're trying to mount an attack on Charles Leclerc now as we prepare to resume racing. Well, we tried a sneaky move around the outside, but it didn't quite work. Unfortunate there for Sebastian. He'd have been on for some big points there, but had a bit of a lunge on us, and you know, in fairness, we should have maybe given him a little bit more room, but I think he'd have just spun us at that point, so you have to draw a line somewhere. But we are maintaining P4 for now, and look who we've got for company. It's going to be Alex Albon in the sister Red Bull. Can he do what Max failed to do? Well, we've jumped all the way to lap 18 now. We've still managed to hold off Alex Albon. He's done a cracking job at putting us under pressure, but just nowhere to overtake around the streets of Monaco, of course. So we are maintaining P4 for now, and we are going to go a little bit wide. That's not good. That's not good. We've got Alex Albon. He's trying to do a repeat of what Max didn't do, but he's trying it nonetheless. He's still round the outside of us. We defend the inside. We're still defending the inside. He's still defending, but it's going to be the inside now into the hairpin, the slowest corner in Formula 1. We've pretty much had to come to a stop there, almost just 10 mile an hour, as Alex Albon sneaks his way through. And look at the pace difference between the Lola and the Red Bull. The Red Bull has already gone. A good overtake there by Albon. That'll get him noticed by the Red Bull crew. He did what Max Verstappen failed to do, and that is get past me into P4. So we're down to P5, but still 10 amazing points are on the card. And as we swing round onto the final lap now through the swimming pool section, or about to come through the swimming pool section I should say, Valtteri Bottas makes it the win. He takes victory at Monaco, an unbelievable result for him. That would never happen in real life if we ever race there ever again. Depending on what happens with Corona, of course. And we've gone wide. We've gone wide into the final corner. Would you believe it? But we're okay. Hold tight. Hold tight. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's going to be P5. P5 for Lola. An amazing race. An amazing strategy by us just to pit on lap 1 with that first safety car and go, do you know what, guys? Let's take the risk. We have got nothing to lose. And nothing to lose we didn't have. And there you go. We are in P5. P5 across the line in the Lola. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable. Fantastic result, everyone. Fantastic job by the team. We did a good job as well, only sustaining a little bit of wing damage. And there you go, that's Valtteri Bottas. Finger up in the air. He's happy with that one. He'll take P1. He is loving life. There's all the mechanics. Clapping, cheering, shaking each other's hand, giving each other hugs. They're all going to get fined for COVID, breaking the rules. No masks on the podium, but yet we can shake hands there. He's going to lift the trophy high. He puts it down, and now it's time for the champagne! No. Wow, oh, wow. And would you believe, look at that. Alex Albon had 5-second time penalty for something. And yeah, if we'd have just stayed a little bit closer or held him off for another lap, we could have re-inherited P4, but it wasn't to be. But there we are. P5, everyone. P5. Look at the cars we've held off. Danica Kvyat made a good recovery there to score points after starting last, so no, worthy driver of the day there. And Raghunathan not bad, ahead of Kevin Magnussen, George Russell and Antonio Giovinazzi. So yeah, well done to him. And in the driver's standings, 15 points on the board now for us. We've shot up into 9th position. We're ahead of both of the racing points. Both Alpha Tauris. We're ahead of a McLaren there as well, of Lando Norris. He's having a poor season at the moment. And we're P9. Who would have thought that? And we're 7th. 7th in the Constructors now. We've jumped ahead of Alfa Romeo and Alpha Tauri. Wow, oh wow. Who would have thought that? It's a special result for us. It's very much a one-off. If it had been no safety car and us not pitting, then points were not going to be possible. But nonetheless, we have done it. We have done it, guys. We're going to extend some contracts now because we can for our sponsors. Because we've done a good enough job. And who can fault us? That's our third points finish, guys. Our third points paying position finish. Unbelievable stuff. We're filling the R&D now, or the team building activities, activity timeline, whatever you want to call it. And there you go, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you next week for Baku, Azerbaijan. So I'll see you all then, and let's see if we can build on this absolutely stunning result. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and as always, I'm going to love you and leave you. Much love!